Hey, what's up guys? John here. Billionaires are running out of California because they know what is coming next. And this is all stemming from a wealth tax that they're saying is potentially getting voted into law in November.
Billionaires in California, like Peter Thiel and Larry Page, might be facing a new tax. California voters may decide in November to impose a 5% wealth tax on residents worth at least $1 billion.
Now, I've been warning people on this channel saying California is moving into a very, very dark place. I mean, 2 years ago, I did a video saying that California no longer let you leave, talking about a wealth tax. 700,000 views. And back then, that was picking up momentum. But everyone got distracted because of all the crazy things unfolding in the world every single day. But now all eyes are back on California. And what they're doing next and what they have planned is really shocking.
Billionaire backlash is brewing in California over a proposed bill.
We built one of the most progressive tax systems in the nation, one that asked high-income residents to pay a little bit more without punishing those that are making a little bit less.
You're talking about, they first start off top level. They say billionaires, because everybody can get behind that type of conversation, saying that we need to tax the rich. Most people are poor, so they say, yes, that will combat inequality. That'll make things better for the majority. But the more that you peel it back, the more you realize that they always start here and then they gradually start moving down lower and lower and lower until it hits everybody. But this is just genius how they set this whole thing up. And in this video, I'm going to break it down and kind of walk you through this. So first they say that individuals with $1 billion or more, they're saying it's just a 5% one-time tax, and they're going to tax things, you know, like shares in your company, stocks, bonds, options, partnerships. They're even saying artwork, collectibles, real estate, you know, all that. But look at 2020, when I would say that was their first big step into change with all the tyrannical policies that unfolded on small businesses. Back then, California eclipsed every other state with business closures. Los Angeles, California, they took the list.
The Golden State's luster has tarnished.
It's not just people leaving the Golden State. More tech companies are also packing their bags and moving their headquarters to other states.
HP Enterprise, software giant Oracle, and Elon Musk, founder of Tesla and SpaceX, all packing for Texas.
Now, this came out September, right, 2020. Here, 5-6 years later, what city is the highest business closure rate in America? Of course, it's Los Angeles, California. And why is that? Well, look at this. $1 million a year. Pay $468,000 in tax, net income $531,000. So if you're a small business owner, maybe you have 5 employees, and they all need to live in California, you need to pay them $80,000, $100,000 each. Your business would have to clear $1 million before you could feed yourself, right? So what does this mean for a small business owner? I mean, it's big problems are ahead. Right? And that's why California, they're closing more businesses than anywhere else. But I believe that what's going to happen is they're going to push out all this money over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They're going to push out a lot of the job opportunities. They're going to force people on the dependence of the state.
More people moved out of California in 2025 than any other state.
20 billionaires could be leaving, according to the New York Post, fleeing California.
And then once that happens, or as that's happening, they're going to slowly start stepping back in, acquiring properties, acquiring multifamily buildings. They're going to be acquiring office buildings, land. They're going to buy up everything. And this, I believe, is going to change California forever. In this video, I'm going to break it down. Please hit the like button. When you do, YouTube will share the content, educate more people about what's unfolding. Take a look at this. So first, they say it's a one-time tax, that it's only 5%, right? 5%, but they're also considering a reoccurring wealth tax, and they're saying it's 1.5% tax on net worth over $1 billion and 1% over 50 million. So just as I was mentioning before, they start up here, everyone can get behind, you know, the billionaire, taxing them. Then they're saying 50 million. Before you know it'll be 10 million, 5 million, a million, 500,000, 100,000. and it's going to continue to move lower and lower and lower. It's quite unbelievable how fast this exodus is unfolding. As of early 2026, reports indicate a significant capital flight for California, with estimates suggesting $1 trillion and $2.5 trillion in assets has left or is leaving the state. The exodus is largely driven by the proposed 5% wealth tax initiative. Now, you just look at the insanity. This came out today. California City freezes rent for all of 2026. And what city is it? Santa Barbara. The contentious new chapter in Santa Barbara's housing crisis is unfolding in its city. Council, in a split decision, recently approved a temporary citywide rent freeze. So they just came out and said, yeah, we're freezing rents all this year. You're not able to increase your rents. But you know damn well insurance companies are going to be increasing insurance rates. Property taxes are going to continue to go up. Repair costs are not going to get any cheaper. And they're essentially just bleeding out the landlords inside of Santa Barbara. But it's not just Santa Barbara. Even, they were talking about, with the fires, they were talking about eviction moratoriums then. They were talking about eviction moratoriums in LA over, immigration. It's going to continue. There's going to be more and more reasons why rents cannot go up, but why their expenses need to. Property insurance, for example, in California has increased significantly since 2020, with premiums projected to rise 20% in 2025 alone. On top of previous annual increases driven by high wildfire risk and insured departures, major carriers have requested rate hikes exceeding 30% combined, and the insurer of Last Resort California's FAIR Plan has seen a 137% increase in policyholders since 2019. So if they're going to continue to increase rates, and then you just left an economy where people are borrowing money at 3%, 4%, and now they have to refinance at 7.5%, what's going to happen? Their cost to service that debt is going to get more expensive. Everything is going to get more expensive. People are going to get priced out. There's just no way that doesn't happen. And then when they push out the billionaires, the people that are creating all these job opportunities, what happens to those people that own these properties, right? The employees that own these properties. A lot of them are paycheck to paycheck. Even if they're making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, in California that doesn't go as far as it would just about anywhere else with the taxes and the cost of living. Los Angeles mansion tax, and they just continue to come up with reasons why they need to tax. Los Angeles mansion tax charges 4% on sales between $5.15 million and $10.3 million, and 5.5% of sales over $10.3 million. So now initially they said that this was to combat homelessness, and a lot of people got behind that, and that turned out not to be the real use of those funds. Now you start looking at the figures. California invested $24 billion on homelessness programs over the past 5 years. $24 billion. And in 2019, there was about 151,000 homeless people in California. 151,000. So then they took the $24 billion and they turned 151,000 into 187,000. So we increased it, 36,000 people, right, with $24 billion. So with this wealth tax, if they were to generate the revenue that they claim, in a best case scenario, do the people of California truly benefit? No, I don't think so. I think the money is going to disappear. And when you have a situation like, what happened in San Francisco a few years ago, when Xi Jinping came into the city, they cleaned up San Francisco. It looked like a disaster on one day, and the next day it looked beautiful. And they came in, they had their meeting, he left, it turned back into a disaster. I believe if they wanted to clean up downtown LA, San Francisco, Oakland, any of these cities, they could clean it up in a matter of weeks if that was really the goal. I just don't think it is. But I think the goal right now is to push out the opportunity so the transformation in California can, reset. Google co-founder Peter Thiel, among billionaires threatening to bolt from California, right? That was 5-6 weeks ago. Then you have Zuckerberg, exclusive. Billionaire Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan are purchasing a newly completed waterfront mansion on Miami's Indian Creek, becoming the latest California billionaires to buy a home in South Florida. You have Larry Page. Larry Page, he was threatening to leave December 29th, and then he moves to Florida. He acquires a property, $188 million. $188 million property in Florida. I mean, you even have a company like Valero paying $1 billion just so they can leave California. Like, what is that signal? The signal is a big issue. It's going to be coming for the middle class there. And here's what I think is going to unfold and how this is going to how it's going to pick up. So as of 2022, over 1.5 million people in LA were receiving SNAP benefits. That was roughly 15 to 16% of the entire population in LA getting SNAP benefits. Now, they say the number of recipients grew from 1,025,000 in 2018 to 1.5 million in 2022. So inside of a 4-year period, it went from 1 million to 1.5 million. What happens as they push the jobs out of the city of LA? They push it out of the state of California. Well, the people that are running the state are going to say, we need more social services, we need more programs, we need more taxes, we need to help combat inequality. And that's what's going to unfold. And as that happens, they're going to issue more rent control measures. And then the rich, when prices get depressed enough, they're going to step back in and they're going to buy everything up for pennies on the dollar. As of mid-2025, approximately 19% of homes in California were already owned by investors, a figure that includes corporations, LLCs, and other institutional entities, and this trend is accelerating, while some projections suggest national institution ownership could reach 40% in the next 4 years. In California, about 19% of homes are investor-owned. Some estimates have placed corporate ownership, total housing stock, roughly 17%. So they're going to continue to acquire these properties. And I think once they have market share, I think a lot of these rent control measures potentially could fade away. And I think that California will go back to being a beautiful place. But I think the next several years, they're going to really put the pressure and the heat on small landlords, small businesses, and it's going to be a major shakeup. What do you think about this entire situation? What do you think is going to unfold in California? Let's have a conversation about this below. Please hit the like button, and I'll catch you next video.